being active with other people is what keeps you connected. So stop thinking you have to do it by yourself. Some women, they like to do it on their own. That's just fine. If you like home workouts or whatever, but if you have a hard time working out at home, it's not because you are not disciplined. It's because oftentimes you just know you would work better in a group, in a community, and you need to connect with a community somehow or have some type of, I'll say accountability person, but just somebody else there with you. However that looks, whether you live stream a workout with a buddy at the same time, or you talk about it later or whatever, that's the biggest thing. You're not lazy and not motivated, and there's nothing wrong with you. You just might be someone who, hey, for the stage that you're at and for what you're doing, working out as a group is going to be what's best for you. Women thrive off of that. Hey there, welcome to the Female Health Solution podcast, where we discuss women's health, hormones, and everything else in between. Join me as we dive into the tools that you need to live your healthiest life. Stop doing these things when you exercise. Stop doing them immediately. Do not pass go. Just don't. Stop right now. I am Dr. Beth Westy, women's health and hormone expert, host of the Female Health Solution podcast. Welcome back to another episode. And we're going to be talking about what to stop doing with exercise. Immediately stop doing this. These are some of the biggest mistakes that I see women make on a regular basis, forcing themselves to exercise, forcing themselves to do certain things. And I'm like, your body's not ready for that. The first thing right off the top of my head here that I actually had a conversation with somebody yesterday about was about exercising when you have adrenal fatigue. This gal has been through the ringer, a lot of different phases of her life, right? And this is someone who I know her really well. I've known her for a lot of years. We are friends. And I've seen her go through a lot of these different things, right? Some, trauma from her childhood. She worked through all this stuff, worked her butt off in her career, which was very stressful. And she traveled a ton of travel, and had a really tumultuous marriage really early on in her life. That did not go well. That did not do anything helpful for her other than teach her how to set boundaries and escape a really terrible situation. Started over again, started a new life again, all these other things, moved again, right? Ended up moving, I think it was 3 times in 4 years because of this turd burger that wouldn't leave her alone, right? So a little light stalking in there too, right? And and she, through this whole time, had worked really hard to keep her fitness level high, play on different, sports teams. That's how she met people in her new areas was, oh, I'm going to join this, local volleyball team, kickball, right? I'm going to get out, I'm going to meet people. I like to be active and I'm going to meet other active people. That's how I'm going to make friends. Great. But she also then started to utilize exercise as a way to release the stress that she was feeling from everything, but took it to a whole new level, right? Meaning she started running excessively, under eating, all this stuff, and did this for years to a point where now, when she's like, okay, I'm moving again, right? She was like, I live a great life now. My job is fantastic. I don't have to travel like I did before. I don't have any of those other big stressors. I am moving again. This is to my dream location. I'm going to be there. So I just got to get there, right? Dream house, dream city, all this stuff. Things are like sunshine, rainbows, unicorns. I've worked so hard for so many years to get there. And she is still, it's, even if it's a positive thing, even if it's a move up, an upward move, right? It's still stress in the body. And she's still working out like crazy. And I'm like, stop. Because she couldn't figure out why she felt so exhausted and why, she's like, my brain isn't working right. And I just don't understand. And I was doing something and then this and this, and I let this other deadline pass, which I never let happen. I was like, you're doing too much. Stop doing all these things, right? I had her take a big step back. And really, really focus on her body, her system, how she was actually feeling. She'd been working out, right? She had been trying to lift more weights, not getting stronger. not getting stronger. That's a big clue. If you're working out and trying to lift weights and get stronger and you're not increasing your weight and able to get stronger and things don't feel lighter, oh, I can carry in groceries easier and I can do these other daily activities easier. Or if you're working out and you're sore for days, 3 or 4 days afterwards, it's not the right thing for you. It's not that you can't ever get there, but you're doing too much. Even if you're saying, well, it was only a 30-minute workout, I don't care. Your body cannot handle it. It's too much, which means your adrenal levels are real low. So we did a Ddge test. This is my friend that I'm talking about here. We did a Ddge test. We did a recent one. It had been a while. We did a recent Ddge test, and I looked at her levels, and I was like, "Honey, no, yours were low before, and now they are completely tanked. This is a lot to recover from." I said, "You can do some light yoga, you can do some walking, and some resistance training, but stop doing this heavy, intense." Like high intensity interval training, workout with weights and things like that. Well, maybe I just need to, fuel differently. Maybe I need to take a different pre-workout. No, it's not a different pre-workout. I was like, you've been through a lot of tumultuous things in your life, right? Like these things matter. The things that you've been through in your life matter. And yes, you can recover from them. And yes, you can get over them. But just note that, I was like, of the last 10 times that you moved, how many times were you moving and it was a really stressful situation that made you move? She's like, oh yeah, most of them. 9 out of the last 10 times I had to move. I was like, yeah. It was stressful. You were being stalked at one point. You had to get away from your ex at the others, right? Like, because the stalker was a different person than her ex. I'm just calling him a stalker. I don't know if he was officially charged as a stalker. That's beside the point. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was like, you were essentially running from something. You were in a frantic mode and you were moving like laterally or sometimes down because you just needed a different place to live at and reside. So you felt safer. Meaning you weren't moving to like your dream location or saying, oh, I love this place I'm moving to or whatever. It was like, I need to get out of here. Now you're moving again. What does your nervous system think that it's doing? Escaping. It's going to trigger that again. And you're working out like crazy on top of it. I was like, take a beat. Reconnect with your system. Go through this in a very different way. So we talked about a lot of different things to implement in her life right now. And instead of spending all that time at the gym, shifting and downshifting on a lot of that, I said, take all that energy and put it into reconnecting with your nervous system and your body, because that's what your adrenals are telling me that you need. Right now, hormone levels were going all kazoo all over the place. I was like, your testosterone is low. That's also why you're not building muscle. We saw that from your Ddge test. These are things that are really important. This is why it is so important you are working with someone who knows you. This is why when I go through a Ddge test with someone, it takes an hour. We talk about all this stuff. I ask questions about your health history. I ask, hey, what else do you have going on? What else should I know? Because it matters. And it makes a difference. And if you have ever been given guidance, with exercise, I'm working out with a trainer. And I'm not saying the trainers are bad. They're not. It's just they're often saying, this is a standard protocol for exercise. And then there's this and this. And we'll start you here. And then we'll, burn more calories by doing this thing. And then this and this and this. And if that's not working for you, there's a reason. There's a reason it's not working for you. There's something going on in your system. We do a Ddge test, we look at what's going on, and then we slowly, methodically work towards implementing the right things for you at the right time, using the right tools, getting the right nutrition, getting the right supplementation in, and then making the right lifestyle changes. The number of times I have to tell women to stop working out so intensely is incredible. It's just like the saying that, you can't work harder to make people like you. If they don't like you, if they don't respect you, you cannot work harder to make them like you, right? It's the same thing with the exercise. If your adrenals are tanked, if your body's nutrient deficient, if you're struggling in these areas, stop pushing so hard. Stop just trying, I just have to work out harder. I have to work out more. it's not going to give you the right results. The other thing is stop doing things that you don't like doing. If you're saying, I don't like weightlifting, fine. You can do resistance training and do it completely differently. Women respond best and work best in a group environment. This is why women's classes and why the fitness industry in the last 10 to 15 to 20 years has boomed in specialty fitness clubs, groups, Pilates centers, bar classes, all these other like small fitness classes, because that's what women thrive off of. That's how our brains work. That's how our communities work, all this other stuff. Going to a class, being active with other people is what keeps you connected. So stop thinking you have to do it by yourself. Some women, they like to do it on their own. That's just fine. If you like home workouts or whatever, but if you have a hard time working out at home, it's not because you are not disciplined. It's because oftentimes you just know you would work better in a group, in a community, and you need to connect with a community somehow or have some type of, I'll say accountability person, but just somebody else there with you. However that looks, whether you live stream a workout with a buddy at the same time, or you talk about it later or whatever, that's the biggest thing. You're not lazy and not motivated, and there's nothing wrong with you. You just might be someone who, hey, for the stage that you're at and for what you're doing, working out as a group is going to be what's best for you. Women thrive off of that. So stop pushing if it's not working. Start working in the direction that reconnects you with yourself and moves you in a better direction. We start with the Ddge test. We guide you through this process and make sure your body is ready for the next step in exercise. But again, the worst things I see are that women forcing themselves to do things and over-exercising when your body's not ready. It doesn't get you anywhere. So go in the links. You know where to find them. Go get the links. Get on the wait list for the next program that we have. This is where we work with you and make sure that you're implementing the right things at the right time for your body. Because sometimes it can be really hard to tell. Or you can think, gosh, am I really doing this? Maybe I'm just being lazy. Maybe I'm in my head. Maybe I should really this, that, and the other. Take the guesswork out of it. Have guidance along the way. And it's incredible. With the right amount of guidance, the amount of progress that you can make in 3 months, 6 months is incredible. Versus working for years and making it nowhere. Stop spinning your wheels. Stop forcing yourself to use your energy, your very precious energy, in a direction that's not leading you anywhere. So start by getting on the wait list. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Let me know if there's anything else I can, share with you or talk to you about. I love talking about these things. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you later. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. If you would like more information, just head on over to drbethwesty.com for all the show notes and information from today's episode. And if you're looking for more community, more support, you can find and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and I would love to see you there.